covering the Northern Bahamas. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. A local parliamentarian challenging Bahamians to take charge of their future during the first annual Tarif Financial Expo. Sabrina Brown has the details.
Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini and Parliamentary Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Pakisha Edgecombe, commended Tarif College for coordinating the first financial expo. She said education is key to the success of any economy, and she encouraged those attending to not let their circumstances determine their destiny.
In our community, like many others around the world, we are faced with challenges. Whether it's unemployment, as I mentioned earlier, or lack of opportunities. Whether we consider ourselves wealthy or whether we consider ourselves, as many say, broke, financially challenged. Are we going to just stand there and point fingers, or will we be the change?
She called on Bahamians to be more prudent with their finances.
Are you living above your means and blaming the other person for your financial woes? Are you spending when you should be saving? Are you crediting when you should be, are you crediting when you have access to no cash? Are you shopping for wants rather than paying for needs?
Founder of Tarif College, Terrence Archer, talked about the significance of this event.
It marks the beginning of a history, and this history is going to continue to culminate into something grandiose that I feel that Bahamian students and prospective students will be able to be benefited by it.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
And now to our Generation Y report. Italia Hall introduces us to a young man who was embracing his talent in style.
Young fashion designer Gustavus Cox has been the owner of a suit company since 2014. He says he was determined to do something out of the box.
I read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and it talked about searching, soul searching, and thinking about something that you loved when you were a child, if you were looking at opening a business or starting a business. And it hit me that suits was something that I loved since I was a child. So I said, you know what? It's that. It has to be that.
But he admits that there were some challenges.
I started my company with $0, which was the first obstacle, so you can imagine how hard that was for me. There was a point in time where I had tailors who were local, and the quality of work wasn't what I wanted for my clients.
And from that point on, it was his mission to improve his product. Now you may remember this stylish piece worn during the independence celebrations in Grand Bahama. He says the Bahamian-infused jacket was his way of paying homage to his country.
Persons like The Element, who he wore my independence jacket and he performed in it, and you know, he's a award-winning gospel artist. So for me, you know, it shows the growth within my company, and it shows that people actually like what I do.
The young entrepreneur says he believes that young people need to be taken more seriously.
A lot of times, because you're young, persons don't see the vision that you may see, especially if it's a person who is, you know, a little bit more matured or used to things being a certain way.
Cox says more can be done to expand the fashion industry in the Bahamas.
Fashion and art goes together. So you have persons who maybe make jewelry, persons who do shoes. All of this is a part of fashion, and it can be a very lucrative industry in the Bahamas. I think it can be one that can become one of the top industries in the Bahamas based on the creativity that we have here, because there are a lot of designers, a lot of creative young people in the Bahamas.
It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And what would Christmas be without a Christmas tree? Well, the Presbyterian Church is continuing their annual tradition of selling live Christmas trees imported from North America. Trees are currently on location at the Masonic Lodge Hall on West Sunrise Highway. Pastor Ken Lane says they are happy to offer the trees for sale as the community gets set to celebrate the most important day on the Christian calendar.
And these are gorgeous trees. They're premium trees that are raised in North Carolina in the States. They're raised in the mountains, so they have that, whatever the right mix of temperature and soil and stuff is. They're really pretty trees, and we're very pleased with them.
The sale of Christmas trees is a major fundraiser. Pastor Lane says the Presbyterian Church has several programs that they must sustain. This Christmas, they hope to feed several families throughout the island, and so the funds raised will go to a worthy cause.
We're going to feed about 50 families, all the way from Freeport, all the way down to 8 Mile Rock. And we'll be doing a special Christmas dinner for all those families on the 23rd, which is Saturday before Christmas. And we're going to prepare for them a home-cooked meal so that they'll all have Christmas dinner for all their families. We probably spend about $1,500 a month just on food. And then we'll spend way more than that this year because we're going to be spending, particularly this month, we got not only given their regular amount of food, but we also try and stuff the bags a little bit more full during Christmas. We do the hot meal as well. And then we also try and include some toys for the kids.
And now it is time to Ask the Doctor.
Hi and welcome. More tips on ways to manage depression or being sad over the holidays. Be realistic. The holidays don't have to be perfect or just like last year. As families change and grow, traditions and rituals often change as well. Choose a few to hold on to and be open to creating new ones. For example, if your adult children no longer live close by or can't come to your house, find new ways to celebrate together, such as sharing pictures, emails, or videos. Set aside differences. Try to accept family members and friends as they are, even if they don't live up to all of your expectations. Set aside grievances until a more appropriate time for discussion, and be understanding if others get upset or distressed when something goes wrong. Chances are they're feeling the effects of holiday stress and depression too. If you have questions on how to manage stress during the holidays, please email askthedoctorbahamas@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away, a check on sports is up next with Ricardo Lightbourne.